What is up, everyone? Hope you're having a
Hello,
great day, guys. Hello. This is Warren Howe.
this is Shafiq.
We have Academy. Uh, yeah, man. So just as you guys notice that I have a new set at the back. I'm literally in my brother's room, actually, quarantining. Yeah. So it was actually a quarantine. So I shifted my set here, and I'm lazy to move back. So yeah, I'm back here. Yeah, man. How are you guys? Let us know if you're in the chats. You guys know the drill. KC Low, what is up? Good evening. Um, how have you been? We haven't been live for quite some time, and we're excited. We're excited to be sharing this. In this live, we'll be talking about FATA trades, FATA trades, just to be hedging. You guys know us. We try to look at deals to grab on. I am personally regret because I didn't go on to some, but we'll be talking about some today. Mostly the topic will be about what is happening at hand, which is the Russia-Ukraine mess. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the potential trees to go on, a little fundamental, and we will be revealing a stock called we'll be revealing later on. So a stock that we are actually going through that may be a beneficiary of all of this, even regardless of the Russian Ukraine issue, right? So appreciate it if you guys actually smash that like if you can. Drop a comment, let us know you're here. Hashtag live if you're here, it'll be great. If you're watching this on replay, click hashtag replay, it'll be awesome. And let's get to it. Now, Fig, you want to say anything before we begin?
Hello. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We straight away to our point.
Yeah, let's get to the point, man. So, okay,
Let's get to the point.
Russia, Ukraine. Putin, you motherfucker. So, don't mess with Putin, guys. Putin will fuck you up. So let's talk. Let's bring a little history lesson. Like I didn't know shit about this until I researched like not long ago. Okay, like a little history lesson. When I was looking through, I was studying. Okay, why the heck is Russia pissed off at Ukraine, right? Like why are you invading Ukraine? And what I found out was that uh, if I can conclude in two words, I would say power and control, similar to China and Taiwan, right? So Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union, which is Russia and all that, and then they separated. But time and time, Ukraine started to get allies and partnered with NATO, which is like the alliance
Yeah.
with Europe and all that. So
They not yet NATO.
yeah, they are not yet NATO, but they're actually
They
in
apply
talks
to
with
be NATO.
NATO.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they want to be part of that. So Russia is like, hey, what the hell? Like I thought we are brother, and suddenly you're going off. That's what I'm getting lah, right? So and basically, but all Putin has a hidden agenda for sure. Like this guy, you look at this guy and it's a sneaky bugger, right? So yeah, right. But he's smart lah, fucking smart. He's tough and he probably wants to be more resourceful, and obviously, like, I don't know, maybe a chunk of GDP we've lost if Ukraine goes away. I don't know, but the point is they're invading them. They don't want them to be so resourceful and to have allies, and probably they'll want to conquer it back again. So that's what's happening. And why is that a huge impact on oil and gas? Is because Russia is the third largest oil producer, okay, in the world. The global the production of oil consists of 11%, which is in a way fucking crazy lah. Okay, so third largest producer, 50, but like close to 50% of that oil actually is consumed by European market. The reason why I'm saying that is because, I mean, in a way, we need to assess like macro view before we buy into some companies, right? And if let's say Europe is not a producer of oil, they're just a consumer, they're just importing shit, then they will be heavily affected. That being said, if you are investing in Europe, then in a way, European companies, then in a way, you'll be affected, lah, right? The bigger trouble about this is that if let's say oil prices go too high because of that supply crunch, that will start like maybe recessionary problem. You know what I mean? Like last time when all prices were at fucking 150 or something like that. Like I forgot what's the amount. Um, it sparked a recession because everything started to get more expensive. You know, whether we like it or not, a lot of things are running on O&G, right? Plastics is made from them, whatever. So that's a problem. That's a problem. But in order for us to benefit from said events, we can start to actually hedge our portfolios to buy on oil and gas. Now, I was never a fan of oil and gas, and I do admit, like I we had a meeting with our team in FACADEMY and our members, I'm not ashamed to say it. I fucked up, right? I fucked up because I didn't think that oil and gas prices will go to $90, right? I'm not a believer, and I never liked this sector, but I was wrong. I was wrong. And Shafiq, you were right. You were saying that oil and gas will touch 90, and that time was just like 70 plus, like close to 80. So I was
Yes.
wrong. You were right. And right now I'm saying, okay, I'm a whore anyway. So let me be wrong, and I want more money. You know what I mean? Like let's do it now. It's never too late, right? So yeah. Now the reason why I'm saying that 50% thing also is that um for like think about the companies that are like in terms of recessionary problem things. Think about those countries that are not producing oil. Like their prices will be jacked up crazy, and that will have a ripple effect along the way. But US being the biggest product producer may not be as affected. Actually, it's not really affected. The only thing will affect them is the oil price itself. But US, the good news is if we have money in the US, that's it's protected somehow, right? It's protected somehow. So I believe you have something to say about the things that about oil. Like, what do you?
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
um, my thesis last time, right, is
yeah,
basically I'm agreeing to what JP Morgan analyst said.
yeah,
So what he said is during that time, this is December. So what he said that time is the reason why crude oil price increased because of improving demand, right? And because it is a substitutionary product for natural gas, right? There's a crisis of electricity last year, right?
yeah,
And the to cover the natural gas, so basically they use crude oil instead, right? Not all, but part of it. Then it also comes from the move that OPEC Plus have made. So basically, what he said last time, right? He said that um, there's an expected of demand of 500,000 to 1 million barrel per day, but OPEC only increased the production to 400,000 uh, barrel per day, right? So this is due to they believe, right, it's not because of the about price game, right? It's not because they want to control the price and whatnot, right? It's also because of the underinvestment that have been happened past few years, right, on oil and gas. Market have been shifted from energy market to other market, like for example technology market, right, property market and all this lah, right? All the other things people focus on, shift their focus on other things, and there's a under investment on oil and gas, right? So they basically say that they want to increase the oil price, but they cannot simply increase that, right? They need capital, right? So due to the underinvestment, right? So it is basically what, from technical point of view, is something like it is already oversold, right? So when it's oversold, it's matter of time that the demand coming in and whatnot, it will shift to the average value or shift to the default value, mean value. So this is what happened. This is why they said, right, which I agree, that oil price will increase to $90 per barrel. And in fact, they said that it could increase to 150 in 2023, right? what we not expect is actually how fast it increased, lah, right? And and also adding up to that, because of oil storage have been shrunk from last January, not last January, last year January, right? Remember, there's a negative. If you still remember, there's a negative oil price, right? Basically, like if you own oil storage, you
I remember. Yeah.
you will get the money lah instead, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, so it's basically like the oil storage have been shrunk. So basically, is definitely a supply crisis, right? And looking at what happened with Ukraine and Russia, right? This trigger the sentiment, lah, right? They know
Yep.
that all right, oil and gas already affected the supply very much, right? And with this as a catalyst, right? That's why market been go crazy in the energy sector. They go crazy with the crude oil price, crude oil or crude oil related counter or not. You see, in January, the only sector going up in US market that is positive is energy. Am I
It's
right?
crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's due to what people expect, right? And recently, I also watched an interview, right? We study about the market or not, and I watched an interview. The reporter asked analyst from DTN. He said she asked whether um, all of this is already priced in or not, right, in the market.
Mm, mm.
So he's basically say that he thinks that it's not yet priced in, right? And in fact, if the Russian and Ukraine issues really escalated, they might be, more crisis lah. We could see more demand, or we could see more not demand. We could see more supply crunch within this sector. So he expect 10 to 15% more increase. Yep.
So here's the thing, like, what is the like, seriously, if the question we have to ask ourselves is, what is the possibility of Russia invading Ukraine? That's number one. Number two is that what is the oil price going to be at if they really do, and if they do not, right? So my hypothesis is that when I told you just now that I don't think Russia will invade Ukraine, and suddenly you said that there's bombing already, okay, then it tells me, like, fuck what I know, it might happen now. That was my
Yeah.
original hypothesis. My original hypothesis, they can't afford to do that because
Yeah.
let's face it, wars are expensive. Okay, wars are going to cause bad for the economy itself and GDP or whatever. So shit is going to have a ripple effect overall. But if we want to be hedging in terms of like shorter term, really short term plays, then I would say go with the high. So that's why we want to look at FATA. That's what FATA is today, right? We want to look at technical trades later on. What are the stocks that we are looking at? That's number one. Okay.
Just want to
Yeah.
clarify. There's no bomb yet. It is shelling, basically shelling the
Oh,
bomb.
shelling. Okay. Okay. Okay.
The bomb.
Okay. Okay.
Empty area lah. Basically, like a threat or something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was literally spending the whole day recording my YouTube video today, and I didn't know anything. But when you told me that, I was like, "Oh shit, what the hell is happening?" But
Yeah.
okay, um, okay, fine. Now that's the first thing. We never know what's gonna happen, but it's always good to hedge on a shorter term. And again, guys, we're not financial advisors. We're not telling you to do it, but that's what we are actually gonna do. We missed out the high. Seriously, we missed out the train. Like, I legit wanted to buy hibiscus. Seriously, I legit wanted to buy hibiscus just to hedge off, and now it's already up like fucking 12%, whatever. Okay, that's done. But also, since we are talking to move in, what are the type of trades to go in now? Like, fundamentally, now I'm not an expert in O&G, okay, but in terms of like stream, like, we got upstream, we got midstream, we got downstream for oil and gas in this value chain. I would say, like, seriously, if I was to buy players, like, stocks and players in this field, I would go for upstream, simply because I think, not, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, especially those OG O&G players, I would say the profit margins will be better on upstream, simply because they are the ones, digging. They're the first movers, right? They're digging the oil from wherever they want. They can sell it off at a better price, whatever. So that way, then margins will be good because midstream is just like transportation, they're constructing, whatever, right? And downstream. So these are the two streams, but I'll prefer upstream because downstream is affected and more riskier because, if let's say the prices really don't go down, then they're going to be fucked in a way because they're the ones on the retail side, right? They're actually the one distributing the oil and whatever. So
Distributing.
yeah, right. So I would go for upstream, and the stocks that we are looking at in upstream in US is COP, ConocoPhillips. Now, I'm not sure whether Devon is upstream, to be frank, but these are the two main guys that we are looking at, right? So, do you want to share your screen, Fig, or
Okay, so we talk about PTA first.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really do much fundamental on these guys, to be frank. I just thinking, okay,
Okay.
oil price means okay,
All right. Can you see my screen?
y- not yet,
Not yet.
yeah. But COP, by the way, their 2021 full year reported 17.6 profit margin. So versus obviously 2020 was negative. 2019 was 22%. That is not too bad. Now, if oil prices remain to be this high, then obviously better margins, right? So that is something to think about.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. All right. So before we talk about counter that
Yeah,
related to oil and gas, right? We talk
yeah.
about the commodity price itself, which is this is
Okay,
combination of UK oil and also US oil, Brent and
okay,
crude oil. And is average at $90. So this is the current price of the crude oil now. Okay, so we see that the trend have been in uptrend. So if you notice here, I open to this is what we call Guppy multiple moving average. This is multiple moving average from Guppy, right? So from here we can see whether the trend is strong or not, right? So a simple explanation to see this kind of trend indicator is basically you can compare the group of line in green and group of line in red, right? How far it is, right? So the more further between these two lines means that the strong the momentum, right? And if you want to know whether the long term momentum is there or not, we compare the line in between the red line. We
okay,
compare the distance between the red line, right? So here we can see that, all right, the long term momentum is still strong. Recently, there's a retracement, okay, and I'm not sure, but could be right because of the shelling. I think recently, 30 minutes ago, right, there's a shelling in Russia shelling the Ukraine,
mm-hmm.
so it could increase the volatility. I think from here on, it's important point level of point to see lah, right? Whether
Mm-hmm.
it will continue to go uptrend or not, right? But based just on the data we have at the moment, the long-term momentum is still strong. So that's number one,
Okay,
right? Then let's look at Devon first.
yep,
Okay, so Devon also, is follow the oil price, right?
yep,
It has been uptrend. So in term of entry point, right? I think this is the support that we are looking for right now, right?
okay,
And the pre-opening for today is $54. So I think we will test the support again, right? So from there we can see lah, right? The depend on the commodity price, we can see whether the price will continue or not, right? In short term, long term, I think it's still going to be uptrend, right?
okay,
Just for entry purpose, lah, right? We want to see whether it can rebound or not from this support. Okay, then next counter we look at Konoko. So this
yep,
Konoko, I think, is provide a good entry, right? Here, if you can see the green line is uh, already contracting to each other, means that provide a good entry point. It provide a low risk entry. So Konoko, I think, have the entry position for this one. So Yeah, my point. Okay, to summarize what I've been sharing all this while is
Yep.
basically the long term momentum is still there,
Okay.
right? D1, we need to have more data to see the entry, but for Konoko, I think there's a entry already. You just need to enter a good price. Yeah,
You remember
right.
Devon? We entered
Yeah.
at like fucking hell, man. We entered at last time, as a trade 20
um,
plus, and it's crazy. We just profited
yeah.
like 15,
I think
20
here.
percent and no, I think we
Yeah.
profited 30%. And then after that, we're happy, but shit, we held on. It'd be a good investment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Devon is an upstream player, by the way, so that's good news. Um,
Yeah, they,
uh,
they also they also beneficiary of the natural gas. Last time we trade because of natural gas crisis.
yeah,
Remember the
yeah,
electricity crisis? Yeah.
that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Yeah. Um, and by the way, natural gas, in Europe, like three-quarters of Russian natural gas goes to Europe. So I
Wow.
didn't know that until I'm like shit. Like, so it's reliant on that gas and shutdown of if let's say they really invade, then military, confrontation and whatever shutdown. Imagine the supply crunch, man. Imagine that price. So three-quarters, okay, natural gas. That's huge. So a lot of Russia's GDP is actually dependent on Europe, and imagine Russia's GDP itself, 50% going down the drain because of this war. So that's why I
Hmm.
said it's most likely he won't invade lah. But we never know this guy, right? So yeah,
I think what possibly happened. They want to threaten Ukraine to not joining NATO.
yeah, that's the thing.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I think NATO also just released a statement that they pause the application first. But yeah, I think that's probably what happened. They don't
yeah,
want Ukraine to join hand with US ally basically. Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah,
I agree. I agree. Yeah, but the things to take note is that if we have investments in US, I'm not afraid because if this war happens fundamentally, uh, based on what we said just now, uh, if let if let's say they really do invade, then it's 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 bad for the market, but good that we know what to buy because
yeah,
of that, right?
yeah,
So this is a position of power, right? We want to be prepped. We want to know what to buy, at least a portion of the portfolio, hopefully to gain if let's say others go down. Yeah, so this is what we're sharing, like guys. So again, it's not a buy call, guys, but we intend to actually start positions in these two, especially on Conoco. Um, yeah, so that's that.
yeah.
Is
And I
there?
think
Yeah,
yeah, I think when coming to the issue of Ukraine and Russia, right? It's
yeah.
not just uh, energy sector that probably is the beneficiary, right? I think there's also other commodities like metals and aluminum.
Oh yeah,
Am I right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
and
Yeah,
we're
for
going to
sure.
talk about that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
okay, because Russia is like a metals hub, right? Where everything is
Mm.
actually produced there. Also, so to as another hedge also will be aluminium. Um, but I have to admit that in a way, the only hedge investment that I have on aluminium is PMBTECH. Because
Scope.
they do silicon metal and aluminium, right? So, but that is good enough at the moment. Oh, by the way, guys, like who followed it on the PMB Tech trade? Let us know because that would be cool to know that you profited. Like seriously, since we released that video on YouTube, hopefully you guys, check that out on the Wyckoff, basis. So it's paired with actually FATA. That's a FATA trade. Like
Yeah.
fundamental analysis, it tells us that if let's say prices remain at that, per ton, which I believe it's like, how much was it? If they can remain at I believe it was 9,000 USD a ton, then profits will be very interesting. Sorry, I got like two things balanced. I got lithium and I got no lithium is 53,000. Sorry, and then I'm looking at commodities now. It's crazy. This is a sector
Right.
that I'm really weak at, right? But yeah, I believe it's 9,000 USD a ton. If they can maintain that, their profits and PE could be at below 6, which is crazy. Which signifies like if we were to peg a premium on PMBTECH with their management and all that, right? It's not unreasonable to give them a 20 PE. So that could mean a significant upside if their profits really take place. So this is exactly the case of MSC. Now, we started Xifu like a few months ago, so I don't think you guys know about our MSC trade. But MSC was, beneficiary of EV metal and tin, again with the supply crunch and commodity super cycle. So we went on MSC. Now it's a slow mover, but end of the day, year to date, it actually went up a lot, like I don't know, 60% or something like that, on 2021. So, but we sold off early, and uh, this is similar to that, but the difference is the management, right? The Kuhn brothers, which is P metal. So these guys are Imba, and they've already done it on P metal. What is the likelihood of PMB gonna do that as well? So this is where we see the hedge. So that's FA, and TA wise, you released that Wyckoff video on YouTube. So it was actually paired, and that's the power of FATA. So we're still holding on to the trades, right? Fig, are you still holding on?
Yeah, yeah.
You're still holding on. Okay, good. I'm still holding on mine, and fortunate enough, profit, year to date like 50% on that trade, so it's good. But at least we are hedged on that, right? So if aluminum actually goes on furthermore, and by the way, Fig, I just researched this. When I'm looking up
Yeah.
on Russia and all, not only aluminum, I mean, fucking
Metal.
lumber prices going up, gypsum prices going up, um, uh, you know, c- composite decking. Yeah, I mean, composite decking is the beneficiary of if these goes prices go up, right? Everything, all raw materials are actually all going up. Steel has been going up, right? So, uh,
Do you think this will put we talk about inflation and interest rate, right?
yeah,
Do you think this will put a pressure on that?
it will give pressure on demand also. Simply because shit is getting more and more expensive, and if this prolongs, then it's like big trouble, man. Like people can't. It will put pressure on demand straight away, and that's where if it gets too crazy, then recession. I mean, re- recession somewhat lah. Because if let's say earning power doesn't keep up to spending, then obviously we can't afford shit, right? So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, that's why we should be investing and looking at the market because of this, because there are trades that we can go on just simply because of market sentiment only. Like the fundamentals are not even realized yet, but the stock price is already going up. So the question
Mm.
is it priced in or not? Which the analyst that you research says not in oil and gas. um but yeah, so the trade on let's say raw material prices going up in US that I'm looking at is Lennar is one of the oldest home builder. They're like a constructor developer. They're vertically integrated. They're at like a P of 6 now, PE,
Oh,
right? So year to date they went up 40% 2021, and they dropped. So that's why I asked you, Lennar, how is the TA, right? You said
mm.
they need more confirmation. But seriously, if these raw material prices go up like that, they are sort of a beneficiary, somewhat. So because they price it in, and the houses that they build, they can sell higher, which is fucked up, but that's the way it works. So yeah, yeah. Like contractors will take huge beating from this, but developers who are actually selling houses, they will benefit because of this increase. So yeah, that's one of the trade that I want to that we are possibly looking at. AZEK, which is composite decking. If let's say lumber prices go up, then people will find an alternative. That is one of it as well. US. So yeah, these are the sort of potential FATA trees that we could be looking at, and we haven't started a position yet though. So these are
Mm.
things to take note. Yeah. But all in all, the reason for today's live also is that we want to be talking about a position that we started, which is LAC, Lithium America Corporation, right? So fundamentally, LAC is quite sexy because, um, well, first of all, we have to understand lithium for what benefit, right? So lithium carbonate, uh, battery grade is a necessity for EV batteries. That's what we have to understand. And if let's say the whole TAM of EV is actually increasing, the demand is increasing, then obviously lithium will follow through. But of and the biggest, well, there are big supplies in different countries. There's Bosnia, not mistaken, America, Argentina, whatever, right? So why LAC is poised to actually, in our opinion, fly is because they have two huge mines that can actually generate 80,000 tons in total from these two mines. Okay. And the good thing about this business, investing in these type of companies, is that it's not easy for entrants to just come in and say, I want to start doing lithium right now, right? The benefit, it takes 7 to 8 years, or maybe even 10, to from finding a mine from inception stage to mining it and producing it to convert to be battery graded and sell it off. So that's good news in a way. And the good news also at LAC is that this year they are already starting production, the second half of 2022. So we are looking at this trade fundamentally, paired with technically a little bit, but we believe that this will be a highly beneficial, highly benefit, because in whether we like it or not, US will be dependent, and LAC is the second other company apart from Albemarle from doing lithium, right? So fundamentally, this is very, very interesting, guys. So you guys watching, Abing, what's up? Casey Low, anyone you guys want to consider investment in US, consider this, right? LAC, we already started a position because of the Russia scares. We're actually down on the position like 2% at the moment. But yeah, this is a very interesting trade. Um, and okay, so the hypothesis also is that the the war of Russia and Ukraine will sort of shake all energy sector, right? But it also tells America that having our own source, it makes it more uh, precious. Does that make sense? Like it gives more testament that, hey, shit, we should have our own shit, not depending on others. Apart from China or whatever, right? So Tesla recently signed a deal with Australia Lithium, which I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't want to get from LAC. Maybe they're already more developed or whatever. And that starts in 2024. But this is testament that shit. This tells me that, hey, we need our own shit, not being self-reliant. We can mine shit. America is not made in China. That sort of thing. American dream is not made in China. That sort of thing. So, um, right. So, that I don't know, that my hypothesis is that it makes it more valuable in that sense, right?
Mm.
So just depending, and one of their mines in Argentina, one of the mines in America itself, and Nevada is the way to be because taxes are lower, things are more less. Think, as I understand, less stringent, right, in terms of taxes and whatnot. So yeah, Nevada, there's a good place to be. So if let's say they can really get supply out, and if we times the lithium price, which is going up and up, like close to 50 plus 60,000 per ton, we can actually gauge the revenue from that project, right? So LAC right now is let's see, LAC right now has a 4.8 billion CAD market cap. Okay, there are revenues that can be generated. And I'm going to bring up my calculator here. So 80,000 tons times by, let's say, 50,000, they
You
can
you sharing?
potentially.
Do
No,
you
no, I'm
sharing
not.
screen?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
I'm working on the calculator. So,
Alright.
so even if I take, let's say, 60% production of the potential revenues of their for their revenues a year will be around 2.4 billion. That puts them at a forward price to sales at 2, right? 1.52. So valuation wise and fundamental wise, that's insane lah. Okay, we want to park their revenues to their valuation. Is the potential revenues. That's insane. That is because lithium prices are still going high. Their production is still going. They're gonna mine it, and it's already approved. Furthermore, to add on to the catalyst, Ganfeng Lithium acquired a stake in LAC. So Ganfeng Lithium is like OG of lithium. They've been
Yeah.
doing, supplying to Cato and whatever. Shit, man, like they're having a stake in LAC and seeing things go through. How that's crazy. That's crazy. So this to me is like a no-brainer in a way. So the risk is that lower in the S curve, they're just starting out. There's risk, right? It's sort of a spec in a way because they haven't really made fruition. But if you guys check out the investor presentation and dig in more into the fundamental of this company, it's quite interesting, right? So we started a feeler position in this guy. Technical that time was still okay until the Russian scares fucked it up. But yeah, this is you know something to consider. Something to consider.
Actually, talking about technical, right? I think at current price, which is the closing price is
49.
28.47,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
49, right? 47. So I think that one is actually good level because it has been supported by strong. This is basically like strong supported level for a downtrend.
right.
If the price can maintain above this level, right? And in fact, today pre-open it opened higher, little bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
29.
yeah.
I mean, if it's maintained compared to yesterday close, right? I
Yeah.
think it have high potential to break out uptrend, to continue uptrend. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. I love it. So this is not really a FATA trade. I mean, we wanted a FATA trade, but looking at the fundamentals is sexy as shit. I might even just hold it like fingers crossed. So we gotta see. We gotta see. Um, but yeah, man, that's all. That's so far. That's what we got. That's what we researched. Yeah. What else do you have, man? Do you want to mention anything? Like, do you have any Bursa stocks that we want to discuss? And you know, how's hibiscus looking at?
Hibiscus.
I legit wanted to buy hibiscus, dude. Like, fucking hell. As a hedge, it's a no-brainer hedge, right? Anyway.
As for today, it closed with long upper shadow. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
problem.
the one is initial red flag. Not to say it cannot go up, but the one is initial red flag that probably market is already top.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
talking about entry, I think we need to be patient lah. Right. Now it's not
Okay,
probably good price yet. Yep.
okay.
And actually today a lot of counter, close lower, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for PMBTECH lah.
So yeah, so for PMBTECH,
PMBTECH is like full
PMBTECH
bar, dude.
recover. Yeah,
Full fucking bar, man.
yeah. Seriously, it's lucky because I think before the huge down on 15th February, we discussed about whether to take profit or not, right? For some of our portfolio. And the next day, the price dropped fast, right? We cannot take action. So I wait for recovery.
Yeah,
And I see that, right, this is actually quite a good setup. So I wait. Lucky for lucky it materialized today, right? It go up fast. And in
yeah,
fact, today I've been thinking whether should I, secure some more profit for certain portfolio, right?
So we were discussing like bloody
Yeah.
hell, losing money also stress,
Stress.
profiting also stress. Like okay, just to review, guys, we didn't. The reason why we want to take profit is because we wanted to balance portfolios for the funds we manage, and we are managing funds. So,
Yeah.
but
Balancing out.
our own account, we are just holding long. Like the
Yeah.
public account, we're holding long. So in the public account, it constitutes 5% of the public portfolio, and which is not enough. Seriously, I wanted to hedge much more, which I fucked up. But that's that. So yeah, uh, yeah, and the fundamentals that we talked about just now, it's still this. In our opinion, there's still room to run, but so like honest to god, like I wanted to, like there was a down of, I think, from the highs of like 8%, right? I wanted to
Mm.
go lower for me to add another tranche. Seriously, I was ready. I already told the group I'm going to add. I'm waiting patiently, but today I'm like, oh my god, what the heck is happening? We're up 8%. So yeah, I didn't, in the end, I didn't add on again. I wanted to. So yeah. Yeah, DNex was another trade that our members had on.
Yeah.
DNex was DNex was
Yeah.
insane, dude. Like we were
Yeah.
busy and we wanted.
Talking
Yeah.
about the next, right? We actually preparing the next video for YouTube. I think before the price go up
Ah,
30%. But we have the technicality. We have technical problem. We cannot upload the video. But seriously, man.
like yeah, we wanted to do a video, and in our group, you can actually see we had that at like below $1, and suddenly it just shot off the roof.
Yeah.
Because technically, I mean, fundamentally, they are, what's not to like in them? Like they are tech beneficiary, they are all O&G beneficiary. So let's say all prices actually go up, then yeah, they will benefit.
Yeah, it's a recovery story lah for, right, as the focus on Cetera and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
Silterra is the major one, but they also
yeah,
are oil and gas beneficiary. So that's
yeah, yeah,
why the market will
both.
benefit that, and yeah. Anyway, yeah, our members sort of profited big, which is good for them. But that is their own conviction, and
Yeah,
they've been eyeing on the stock since like 50 cents, and they're holding all the way. Respect to that. But yeah, fortunate enough to make a slight trade, and
we we do
yeah,
trade the next, but on early stage, I think we trade the warrant.
yeah, okay,
Quite good return. I think 20%. Yeah,
nice. So
not 20
Bing,
like 18.
Bing
Sorry.
said I wanted to buy DNex, but I want to wait lower price. Okay, okay,
Mm, yeah. Yesterday candle, not today candle. Yesterday candle is long upper shadow, right? Today
mm-hmm.
still green. But
Is that a good
basically,
sign?
probably this is sign of market on top already lah. Already at market is
Mm,
already exhausted.
mm,
So although today is green candle, it closed with green candle, but
mhm.
I think there's a chance that we can buy lower price.
Okay,
But need more data lah. Basically, this is just first signal. We need confirmation. Yeah.
got it. Okay, so let's talk about PMB a little bit in terms of TA, right? Now,
Mm.
in the BB um, sort of
Onigiri
pattern,
squeeze.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it's still trading now. It's still up within that green level.
yeah.
So is that good or
Is good. It's still like I have mentioned many times before. If the
yeah,
price in between the standard deviation and standard deviation two means that it is
yeah,
around a good price to enter because it is safer price to enter when the
okay,
counter is in strong momentum like this one. So
okay,
yeah, yeah, I do think it's good. And in fact, right, um, and this is also what I deciding today, right?
yeah,
Before the market closed today, this is what I said to myself. I said that if the price closed lower than 19 ringgit 30 cent, sorry,
mm-hmm,
19 ringgit 20 cent,
yep,
I will take profit.
okay,
This is for a portfolio that we mentioned, lah, right? The
yep,
rebalancing, not sell off,
yep,
just to rebalance the portfolio.
yep,
So I say that, all right, if the price close lower than that, I will take some profit. but today it closed higher, which is 19 ringgit 50 cent. And this
Mm-hmm.
is actually good candle
Yep.
because it engulfed the previous
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
retracement candle. Yeah, it's
Okay.
showing
Okay.
strong momentum and it's showing uptrend. Yeah,
Yeah. See, so that's what I want to ask. Like, I see a fucking big ass bullish engulfing there. So is that like, and it's still trading within that green and BB? I'm not sure. It's like, is that a good sign, or we can
yeah,
buy, or
yeah. Just that,
okay,
just that. I based on my experience, like, I potentially see two possible scenario. Next day, it's going to touch the standard deviation 2, which is
okay,
around 20 ringgit, or
okay,
it will trade inside way because
right, right,
today volume is actually not as strong as previous 3 days, right? So I want
right,
to see how strong is the the demand in this counter.
right,
It's not fully tested yet, but uh, just by reading the candle, actually is positive lah. Yeah.
right.
So I'm
See,
still
okay.
hold my position. Yep.
See, that's the benefit of fundamental. Like, fundamentally, if we believe that it could double up simply because of valuations and how much they can earn and whatever, it doesn't matter what price we go. So that's why I said I fucked up, because when it dropped 8%, it's like, I don't care. It's still a good entry because we're looking at long run, right? So yeah, I mean, anyway, that's what I wanted to share, lah. But to everyone here that's watching. And hopefully you guys have bought at PMBTECH. I'm not sure if you did, comment in the chats if you have. But yeah, hopefully, this stock finds you well. Hopefully all the ideas that we shared finds you well. You guys get the logic of it. You know, yeah. If you guys have any questions in terms of TA and what stocks, whatnot, just put in the chats. So yeah, hopefully the chance will come. Bing Henry Tan, any chance for Opcom? Hey, Opcom, Shafiq.
Yeah, I got a lot of question for Opcom also. Actually, I think last 2 day, I think is last 2 day or last 3 days. I think it got. I see the potential because it's the volatility is contracting, right? Then the next day the price go up, then it go down back. So I think for Opcom, it is still within the comfortable level if you want to collect, right? We just need to monitor the support lah, right? So in this case, I think just use psychological what ringgit support is good enough, right? So my point is current price is 1 ringgit 9 cent. So if
Okay.
we enter at this price and let's say we cut loss uh, 1 ringgit or below 1 ringgit, we lost probably 9 to 10%, right? So that is the risk which is still at a comfortable level. Okay, so I fundamentally, right,
Mm-hmm.
I also looking at Opcom because they are one of the player within the 5G or not.
5G. Okay.
Yeah, they are what optic cable. They provide optic cable, right? So I think when government really push the 5G, few potential company which is cable optic like Opcom or the telco tower like OCK like uh, Rojas, right? Probably is the benefactor. So I still keep on looking at this counter,
Mm-hmm.
looking for a good entry. The reason I not enter this Opcom yet, although I say
Mm-hmm.
that last 3 days we see the potential, is because I don't see a good catalyst in this volatile market,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need a strong catalyst to enter within this volatile market. So my strategy for this week, and in fact have been for last week, we have been slowing down our trading
Mm-hmm.
because of we expect a low volatility. Although it could be toward bullish, but still uh, uh, not low volatility. Sorry, high volatile market means that market go up down like crazy, right? And this is also because of what happened in Ukraine and Russia, what happened with the commodity price, all this. So I and also the concern about interest hike for next month, right? So that's why I'm thinking that, all right, we expect volatility. I need a stronger catalyst to enter this position, right? So yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You need a stronger catalyst to enter Opcom first, lah.
yeah. This is also related to our portfolio because, to be honest, our portfolio for 2022 up to this day,
Hmm.
it is good, but it is quite slow, lah, right? Compared to what we have achieved last year, which
Yeah.
is the first month, second month, we achieved like 20%, right?
Yeah.
25%. So this month is quite slow. We just depending on few counter, which is we lucky we concentrate our position there,
Yeah.
because all these market readings that we have been made. But yeah, it have been quite slow lah. So that's why I want to be, rather than, it's okay to slow rather than lost money, right, in the
Yeah.
first
For
few
sure.
months.
For
So that's
sure.
why I go a little bit conservative. I want to see more stronger catalyst, right, for any other position that, not just Opcom, for other positions. So yep.
So, guys, I posted in the Facebook, right? That's me. Feel free to join our Discord. Yep, it's joining as a public is actually free, but if you're actually interested to join our exclusive member part of it and our empowerment courses, then obviously it'll be different. But yeah, join the group first. You can actually we have quality conversations on Bursa stocks, US stocks. We discussed Opcom there and whatnot. So yeah, feel free to join, man. It'll be good to have you guys in, and we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think
Uh,
one value added is we also not, we have, uh you know foreigner also in our, we have US
Oh yeah, for sure,
friends, right? Italian
for sure.
friends, Australian friends. Yeah. So it can help us and can help you guys, right, to increase your perspective in the market. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So as you guys know, I'm a coach in US platform. I basically whoever I coach and I liaise with, I bring them here, and so far they are the only ones that have been talking about meet the members. Like in the meet the member, everyone else is so damn shy. Like Asian bloody culture. But yeah, man, everyone is from California and Florida, Vancouver, and all that. It's all good, man. They're all good people, so it's all
Yep.
good. Yeah, join the Discord, guys. We'll be having fun there. Um, awesome. So again, I'm looking forward to see you guys next week. Hopefully, we have a good sort of subject to talk about. If you guys want us to talk about something else fundamentally or technically educational video, let us know. Like let put in the chats, let us know, tag our name. We'll be there, right? We'll be doing it for sure. So but our favorite topic is always FATA ideas, to be frank. So that's why, because that's where the money goes, hopefully. Yeah, again, guys, this is not buy call, this is not sell call. Hopefully this was educational, this was a good sharing. Hopefully you guys found some value. Again, if you're watching this live right now, click hashtag live. If you're watching this on replay, click hashtag replay. Hope to see you guys next week. And that's all I have.
Yep.
You got anything else, Vic, before we end this?
No, just that. Uh, all the best for everyone in the market, and also stay safe, lah, right? Because of COVID have been crazy lately.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah, seriously, stay safe,
Warren also affected.
yeah. I was COVID
Yeah, it
positive
was affected.
until,
Yeah.
that's why I was in quarantine and I'm here. But it's all good. Yeah, if you want me to talk about the COVID experience, you can let me know and just tweet me or whatever. I'd be happy
Yeah.
to share. Seriously, I want to be responsible. I'll be happy to share. I've been a lot. I'm very educated already. But anyway, yeah. So Abing, thank you. Tan El Hawk, thank you. Henry Tan, Casey Low, awesome. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys. Hopefully, see you guys next week. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.